Happy Christmassy season, Adventure Kids! I am overflowing with Christmas joy and I'm so happy to be here right now. I have been reading the Bible about how Mary was visited by an angel and found out she was going to be pregnant with Jesus. Have you ever read a Bible or any story and imagined yourself into it? Imagined how it would feel to be that character and imagined how it would look from their perspective, see the world through their eyes? Oh, I do that all the time. Do you want to see how I imagine Mary would have felt? Okay, let's do it. Hello, my name is Mary and I lived 2,000 years ago. I'm about 15 years old and I live in my father's house in Israel. I know how to spin wool and flax, I can bake bread, and I know how to preserve all sorts of foods and a whole lot of other stuff too. I like going to the temple on the Sabbath and listening to the Torah being read. I think a lot about God, how he used to show himself to the prophets in the past, but also how he doesn't seem to anymore. My cousin likes to say that I treasure up things in my heart. She's my very old cousin, Elizabeth. Did you know that even though she's really old, she's pregnant and she's gonna have a baby? It's wild. Oh, and also I'm friends with Joseph. We're engaged and we're gonna get married. Can I tell you about something that happened to me? Well, I was alone and preparing food, like today, and suddenly there was the brightest light you ever saw. Have you ever stared into a fire, sitting up really close, no blinking, just staring, and it's so bright that when you look away, you can't even see anymore? Well, I have. It was even brighter than that, and deeper and more beautiful also. But it wasn't just light, there was something in the light. A figure, a being, a man, a big man, and he was dressed in white linen. He said something about me being favored and blessed, but I wasn't really listening. I was so scared. I wanted to run away or cry or scream or everything all at once. But then he said, "Do not be afraid, Mary. God is very pleased with you." And I noticed how kind his face and his voice was, and his words too. So I listened. He said, "You will become pregnant and give birth to a son. You must name him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High." I had a lot of questions, like, was this real? Was this a dream? Where was this being from? Why was he talking to me, of all people? But what I actually said was, how can this happen? I don't even have a husband yet. And then he told me how the Holy Spirit would come over me and God's power would cover me. He also told me about how Elizabeth was pregnant. My old cousin Elizabeth, she was also pregnant because of God's power. My heart was beating so fast, but somehow I felt calm on the inside. Like that feeling I get when I'm getting a hug from my dad, Or that feeling I get when I'm watching the sky change color because the sun is rising. God is with me. So I said, I serve the Lord. May it happen just like you said. And he was gone. I don't know what my life is going to look like now, but I do know it's going to be different. God has noticed me. And I also know that I'm going to carry the child who grows up to save the world. Oh my goodness, wasn't Mary's story wild? Even though it was kind of scary for her, she said yes to God. I kind of want to be like that. Okay, you know how last week we talked about how Jesus is the light of the world, and we also talked about that at Light Party. And we remember that being the light of the world doesn't mean that Jesus is in a light bulb or in the sun or in a candle. No, it's a metaphor, it's a symbol. It helps us to understand things better. You know, when we walk around a room with the light on, we can see it better. And just like that, Jesus helps us to see the world more like God sees it. It's pretty special. And we also know that it's not just Jesus who gets to be the light of the world. Through Jesus' power in us, we get to be the light of the world too. But how do we do that? Well, I have a little sparkle box here that I'm hoping will give us some directions. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay, this is a way we can be the light of the world, giving some of your Christmas money to an organization that helps people experiencing homelessness. That's a good idea. What about this one? Singing worship songs to God on more days than just Sunday? Okay. Oh, having love for that person who is annoying to you. Definitely. What about this one? Asking your parents to bring you to church even when you're tired and snuggly in bed? Asking someone to help you read the Bible? Staying quiet when people around you are gossiping and complaining? Praying for the loud neighbors who fight all the time? Wow, that's a deep one. Saying thank you and actually meaning it. Sharing your umbrella with the wet classmate beside you. Telling your friend about what you read in the Bible this morning. Using good words when you bump your elbow, even though you want to yell out a bad word nobody would know anyway. That's a tempting one, isn't it? All of these ways show us times that we can be the light of the world. I don't know what it looks like for you to be the light of the world. It'll probably look different than me, different than Mary in our Bible story today. But God can help us. Jesus will show us He is the light of the world inside of us. So my question for you, what is a way that you can be a light of the world right now? Have a think about it. Have a think of Mary's story. Read it for yourself. Imagine what you think it would be like. And I will see you around next time. See you later, Adventure Kids.